welcome back to the podcast. I am your host, Corey Pamba Foster, and today is super exciting because I get to talk to my good friend, and we are going to talk about how to legally protect your business, right? So many of you are out here trying to build your business up, make the money, make that impact, but you don't realize that it only takes one mistake, right? One unhappy client or customer that can just crash your business right in front of you. And we don't want that to happen. So, to help us understand how to legally protect our brand, our business, our assets, our legacy, I have with me my good friend Jamila Moore, who is a business and trademark attorney. Let's welcome her to the podcast. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. I'm excited that you are here because we've had the opportunity to talk on several occasions. And every time I talk to you, it is such a wealth of knowledge. It almost makes me feel bad about the things I don't know. But I'm just blessed that you're in my circle that I can ask those questions because now that I do know, I can do better. So before we dive deep into how we can legally protect our business, I want to give you an opportunity to introduce yourself and tell people how you got into business.
Yeah, so one of the things that I just want to say, thank you for having me on this platform for me to literally operate in my purpose. So when I think about helping business owners make sure that they have structured their wealth properly, that they not only make hundreds of thousands, that they keep hundreds of thousands, that they not only make millions, they keep millions, is really about us being primed and ready to actually do the things that we're supposed to do and make sure that along the way we're not sabotaging our success and we're not sabotaging the profits that we make. And so when I think of myself as a business attorney, as a intellectual property attorney, as a contracts attorney that helps people not make the mistakes that would either ruin their business, bankrupt their business, or cause their business to shut down completely. Literally, when what we don't know hurts us. And in the legal field, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. So you can't say, well, I didn't know. There's strict liability. They're going to say, well, you should have known. And so I'm here as a business owner's, I like to say, security guard, right? I'm just securing things for you, making sure there's no harm here, there's no harm there, and that you can go and operate your business in peace, knowing that you're fully legally compliant and that your customers and clients can come around and play with your money. Just do it like that. Play with your money. So that's who I am in a nutshell.
I love that. And I love that you said, ignorance is not an excuse because I remember when I got to take your, what was it, 7 pitfalls to avoid to protect like your assets. I forgot exactly the name. She had a better name, y'all, for the program. But I took it and she hurt my feelings, y'all. She would ask a question and I would be confident, like, okay, I know this answer. And they'd be like, no. And then I realized every time I said no, that was an opportunity that I would be losing money, right? That's money coming out of my children's mouths. That's money coming out of my home. That's money coming out of my future because I didn't know. And so some of you are thinking, oh, I'm going to wait till, I make this amount of money before I get into legal, or nobody's going to sue me, but you have no clue what can happen. And so I love that we can have this conversation to kind of talk about what we don't know. So let's get into the bare minimum, right? When somebody starts their business, what are some of the things they should even keep in mind to legally protect them from jump? Like, I got a business. I'm gonna make $1, my first dollar. How do I protect my first dollar?
Listen, so I love how you frame that because literally when starting a business, you need a lawyer immediately at the point of idea. At the point of idea, you need a lawyer. Let me tell you why. Most people create business names that are not registerable as a trademark. So if you
Mm.
create a business name that is not registerable as a trademark, that means that you can adequately protect your business, your profits, and your brand from jump. Now, here's the flip side of that. If you create a business name that is infringing upon someone else's trademark, that means that you are on the hook for all of the profits that you will earn in your business from jump. So, when do you need a lawyer in your business? At the point of idea.
Oh my goodness, the point of idea. For those of you who remember about the Kardashians, remember before Skims came out, what was she gonna call that? Kimonos or something like that? And she had already done the brand packaging, they had already made the product just to find out that she could not trademark that name. And they were like, no. And she had to then go and make all new packaging and branding around that business. Now, Kim had a little money to throw, you know, ain't in her pockets, but she had a little money. But a lot of you listening don't have that money to go back and have to do all that rebranding, your logo, your website, telling your community, hey, I used to be called this, but now I'm called that. Like, we don't have that kind of money to lose. So I love that you said at the moment we have an idea that we want to, you know, monetize our passion, we really should be connecting with legal to say, can I do this before we make the mistake and then have to go back and retroactively try to fix things. So if we get our name trademarked and if we know at least that it's available of all things, what is our next step? What else would a small business owner even really need to trademark?
Yeah, so you trademark your business name, you trademark any slogans, you trademark your logo, and anything that deals with like a title. And so a lot of times we as business owners, because I'm included too, we as business owners create different types of programming. We create different types of frameworks, and those are things that are intellectual property. And I want to break that down for us because a lot of times we know that one of the greatest ways that we can build wealth is through real estate and purchasing real estate. That is amazing. Another great way that we can build wealth is through our intellectual property. And so in the legal field, we have real estate named as real property, and then what comes out of our mind as intellectual property. And intellectual property allows us to build wealth in a different way that most entrepreneurs don't maximize. And so, as an attorney, I'm not only able to help you to protect your profits, your business, your brand, I'm also able to help you kind of scale your business and make money off your business and your brand. And so, what that means is if you come up with a framework, you could license that framework to other people. If you come up with a reputable brand that just grows beyond measure, you can license that brand to be in films. There's so much that entrepreneurs miss out on because they think that they are saving money by doing it themselves for legal projects. In reality, what they're doing on the back end is creating a larger legal bill.
Wow. Oh my goodness. She drops gems, y'all. She just be dropping them. You like somebody's taking notes right now. Like, yep, okay, got this, got that, love it. So intellectual property. So we talked before, and I always get confused between trademark and copyright because I'm like, okay, I get they're different, but what makes them different? Because you mentioned intellectual property when you're talking about trademark. So what is copywriting?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the difference between a trademark and a copyright, copyrights are for our works, our media works. So our digital prints, our printed books and things of that nature. So when you move into the world of, oh, I have this book, oh, I have this ebook, oh, I have this art, oh, I have this film, oh, I have this song, oh, I have this movie. That's the world of copyright. So it's really like long form intellectual property. Like if I could put it in layman's terms, is long form intellectual property. Well, trademarks are kind of like names, titles, brand pieces, and short form intellectual property. That I think that will help the people out a little bit. So like if I'm coming up with my business name or I'm going to run a webinar and this webinar proves to be really successful, then I know that that could be a stream of income for me. And I don't want anyone else to have that name. So I'm going to trademark that name for my business. On the flip side, I've written a book. And now that book is a stream of income. And I want to make sure somebody just can't come and take my book. I have a course. I have a website. These are all things that we have to copyright to make sure people just can't come and say, oh, I'm going to use this, I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use that. But I do want to have this caveat for copyright. When you use it in commerce, there is some level of protection. And the reason why you want to go and use and take the extra step is because you want to make sure that it is clear for everyone and that there is a record on that there is on record you actually being first in time and first in use. And that's the
Mhm.
thing that we have to be thinking about, because going back to old Kim wasn't first in time and first in use. And I don't know why she didn't learn her lesson when she did the skin thing. Kim, hire me, Kim. I'm down. Come get me, Kim. I'm gonna make sure you're taken care of, Kim.
Oh my gosh! Look, hopefully she hears this, and that's money in your pockets, man. We're gonna speak that into existence. But so I have a question because I saw. Look, I'm always watching TV, y'all, reality shows. But there's this lady who owns a company. I think it's called the Dancing Dolls, but it's like a high school team or whatever. But then there's also a university who has the fabulous Dancing Dolls, and they were kind of in a battle on social media because one had, I guess, a trademark and then the other had a trademark, but they were over different things. Same name, but like one could put it on clothes and then one could perform as. So, is there a difference in the way in which you use the material that causes like how you have to register that trademark?
That is a really, 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 really good question. And so, one, I have to just state this disclaimer: I'm not giving anyone legal advice. I'm not anyone's attorney. I'm just here telling you my opinion. You need to seek out a lawyer if you want the specifics on what you need to do for your business. So, as it relates to trademarking and people having similar marks or even the same mark in different classes. So, when you file a trademark, you want to make sure that it is filed in the specific classes that not only protect you now, but protect the vision that you have later. So, let me walk you through some examples. There was a person who came to me and said, I have a trademark. This is my registration paperwork and blah, 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 blah. And so I read it and I said, well, you don't have a trademark in this class, so they're not infringing upon your rights. Then there's the other piece where someone may not think big enough about their business. And one thing that I always think about is this brand called Confidence. And so the person to first use Confidence, they trademarked it, but they only trademarked it under the class that is for printed books. Someone came back later and was like, I like Confidence too, and I like it for coaching and I like it for apparel. So because it was only trademarked in the class for books, this person was able to trademark it into additional classes that does not create customer confusion or consumer confusion. That's one of the things that the United States Patent and Trademark Office is really concerned about, is customer confusion. And one of the reasons why we have to be so diligent and so thoughtful about our intellectual property, what's coming out of our mind, the wealth of our minds, is because there will be moments where people will come up with the same idea. And if you haven't stated your claim, then you don't have the opportunity to really fight for it. We were talking earlier about Kim Kardashian, and with her coming up with a skin brand, there was a person who already had their application filed and she's ready to roll out. Well, because she had that trademark and then the conglomerate herself, Kim Kardashian, wanted it, there were two things that could happen. Kim could get shut down, or Kim could pay her enough money to make her withdraw her application. Can we say millionaire, multi-millionaire off of a trademark?
There we go. I muted myself by accident. But that was crazy because, like I said, and it's crazy because you think Kim Kardashian obviously has to have some kind of legal behind her,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still making mistakes. So again, we up here with just our little minds trying to figure it out, and I'm sure we are just every day making a mistake. And so when I do this podcast, a lot of times I give you guys things that you can do yourself, because I always believe there's things you can do yourself, but there are some categories, right? I have experts that come on where I'm like, you know what? In all honesty, y'all, you probably want to find an expert that you trust to help you. And that's when it comes to, having a coach, having somebody do your financials, and definitely legal. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do your own research. Absolutely, you should. Whether you're going to YouTube University, whether you're getting a book, whether you're doing research from reputable sites, get yourself some type of frame of knowledge, because if you don't know anything, it's hard to hire somebody to support you because you don't even know what you want, right? But once you do that, I really encourage you. This is something you probably want to outsource to an expert, because they have to go to school for a long time to learn this information. And they also have to stay current because, as you know, the laws are always changing and adapting and being amended. And so when it comes to trademark, copy, and just overall legally protecting your brand, I do encourage you to find somebody. And I'll vouch, I trust Jamila. She's not gonna be out here scamming you. She's very affordable for the amount of work that she does. Let's just be clear. If you've ever gone and hired a lawyer for anything, a court appearance, they'd be like 1,000 off grip for what? Sending an email. I'd be like, oh my goodness, an email. I'm in the wrong business. But you have to realize you're not just paying for their time, you're paying for their knowledge, their degree, first of all. Because if you've ever been in a legal situation, sometimes you'll go back and forth with somebody, right? And then they don't care. Like, you ain't putting no fear in their heart. But if you get a lawyer to place a call, send an email, all of a sudden things is moving, stuff is shifting. People got to change a heart because they're afraid that this person has the knowledge to then do something to them. So you have to realize, like I said, you're not paying hourly for something. You're paying for their degree, their years of experience, their know-how, and their time. So I do encourage you, if you're listening to this and you're realizing that your business is not legally protected, and it probably isn't. Let's just be clear. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I do encourage you to reach out and get yourself protected, because I would hate for you to do all this work, all this blood, sweat, and tears to build this business up for one client or somebody to see the potential in your business and then go steal it. And then you sitting at home crying because somebody that made your business a multi-million-dollar business and you can't do nothing about it. So look, that's my little pitch. Because I'm telling you, you don't want to be out here with your pants down.
Corey, can I take it a little bit further?
Take it to church.
Okay, so I'm gonna take it a little bit further for you all. So we talked about trademark. That's at the point of idea, what we want to do and think through in our business. But the next step that we need to think through is what legal documentation that we have in our business. And then as we go further down the line, what protection do we have on our website? Most entrepreneurs miss this piece here. They do not adequately protect their websites. They get so excited about having a website, and some of them spend thousands and thousands of dollars to have this thing beautified, only to be one examiner, one attorney, one person away from coming to their website, seeing that it's not in compliance with federal, state, and local laws, and then boom, your business is shut down before it ever started. The other piece is, what contracts do you have in place in your business? Sometimes people love to go to Google, they love to go to Legal Shield, wherever, or LegalZoom, and they help me. It's cheaper. But are they advising you on what you need specifically for your business? Are they going through and giving you strategy on how to protect your vision? It's bigger than the money. It is about how you are setting yourself up to be successful, and how you are mitigating your risks, how you are protecting your assets, and how you're keeping yourself from harm as a business owner. And we don't recognize this, but in everyday life, we enter into contracts all the time. When you go to someone's website, at the bottom of that website, you're going to see some documents that you're entering into. By you being on that web page, you've now agreed to blank, 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 and blank. When you purchase a product and they have that long little scroll thing and they tell you to click to make sure you agree and understand, you are entering a contract. And so we love to shop at these big businesses, but we don't want to set ourselves up to be a big business. So we then have to ask ourselves the question, what are we really doing here? Are we just trying to make money, or do we actually want to keep money and grow our money?
Okay, now that's a question we need to ask ourselves, because that's the real tea. I love that. And I remember when we talked a long time ago, and you were like, hey, what about this on your website? And I was like, like, hold on, I need to do that. And we don't think about those things. Why? Because a lot of us are coming into business in a very non-traditional sense of we didn't go to school for business. We just had a passion we wanted to monetize. So we're doing the best we can, putting the pieces together, but we're skipping over some of those really crucial elements that can make or break our business. Even like when we build a course, terms and conditions for a course, somebody come back later, say, hey, you guarantee me this, I didn't get it. Give me my money. Give me my money back. You know what I mean? All this kind of stuff. And so by having a lawyer to look at those things really protects us, because I'm not out here trying to get refunds, y'all. I'm not. Because if you don't have it in your terms and conditions saying, hey, these are the steps, this is the rules, somebody can say, well, I looked at one video and I ain't like it. I want all this money back. And it's like, wait a minute, you ain't even tried a program. You know, that money is,
Mm,
look, if you're a small business, that money is spent. You know
that's
what I mean?
it.
The money is spent and now they want that money back. So I definitely encourage you, like she said, to um, talk to someone, at least see what you need to be out here protecting. I like the idea of an audit. That has really helped me. Having somebody look through my content, listen to my plans for my business. Like in the big picture, it may not look like this now, but this is where I envision it, because I think that helps give me clarity on what I need to protect. So, do you do something like that where you'll like actually look at the material, talk to them about their brand future, and then give them some things that they can think about protecting to give them a place to start?
Yeah, so one of the things that I do offer, and I suggest every business owner really starting here, is walking through an audit to figure out where your brand is, where your business is, and where your profits are. And you're like, well, what does that mean? It's like a diagnostic exam to figure out your areas of opportunity and the areas where you're doing really well. And so what I found is most business owners just don't know the magnitude of the legal things that they have to take care of in their business. At any given time, you are responsible for complying with 5 to 10 different areas of the law. I'm going to say that again. At any given time, you as a business owner are responsible with complying with 5 to 10 different areas of the law. And most people think, well, I got my trademark or I got my contract. It's so much bigger than that. And so with the audit that I offer, I really walk through and comb through your entire business and really tell you how much money you're really putting at risk. So are you putting, if you made $100,000 that year, okay, that's great. Did you put that $100,000 plus more at risk? If you have this opportunity and you're projecting this, did you put that amount of money at risk? And sometimes we think about the money that we do have, but there are some things that if we do in our businesses, you not only could have a fine, you not only could have a penalty, there is some stuff that comes with jail time. Hence,
Oh Lord.
Wesley Snipes.
Oh my goodness. Now I'm scared. Now look, at first it was like, okay, maybe I lose a little money that I have. Now she's telling me I'm losing money I ain't even made yet. Now it's like I can go to jail. Keep me out the orange, please. I'm not made for jail, y'all. I am not made for jail. I don't know about you guys, but I look, because look, if we run out of time, we could talk on this topic all day, every day. I do want to ask you this, because you work with clients, especially business owners, on a consistent basis. And I am sure, because I know from my industry, there are things that I see time and time again. I just have to shake my head every time I see it. Like, here we go again. So, what are some common pitfalls, if you don't mind me saying, that you see that business owners, especially small business owners, are making, that if they fix those, they might be on a better path to protecting their brand and their legacy?
I think the first pitfall that I see a lot of entrepreneurs make is they talk too much.
Mm.
Yeah, most entrepreneurs talk too much and share too much. And here is what I mean about that. By that, rather. That means I have an idea and I may not be confident about that idea, so I talk to other people about that idea. Or that means I have an idea, I'm excited about that idea, so I talk to people about that idea. I have an idea and I seek feedback about that idea or this thing, and I talk to other people about it. Well, when you do that without the proper legal protection, that puts you at risk to have that idea, to have that business, to have that product, to have that service stolen without any ramifications on your behalf. So that's one of the biggest pitfalls that I see. The second pitfall that I see with entrepreneurs is just the lack of knowledge that they have around the magnitude of compliance measures that need to be taken as it relates to running and operating a profitable business, right? People are not thinking about consumer protection law. People are not thinking about privacy law. People are not thinking about marketing and advertising law. And I want to lean in here because I am a professional. And so, as a professional, there are some things that I must do, and there are some things that I cannot do based on the law of professions for attorneys. So, my medical doctors, so my accountants, so, the list goes on. There are laws that you have to comply with just by being a professional, just by being licensed. And so, if you are not aware of the laws that you have to comply with, remember, ignorance of the law is not an excuse. And now you're putting yourself in jeopardy of one of those penalties, one of those fines, and God forbid, jail time. That's just two. I don't think I can give them any more.
Oh my goodness! Look, she has more guys, but you're gonna have to book a call with her to get the rest of the tea. But I know some people are probably like, you know what? I'm just gonna close up this business. They done close up shop. They done told the people while you was talking, like, let me go ahead and say I'm not in business no more because they are scared. But guys, you shouldn't be scared. With anything, you have to just build your knowledge. So if you joined, you started your business entrepreneurship journey and you didn't know that you needed a website, you didn't know you needed a value ladder, you didn't know how to do your sales calls, you didn't have a sales funnel, you didn't have a marketing plan, heck, you didn't have a business plan, you learned that stuff or you found people to support you in those areas. This is the same thing. I know it can feel a bit overwhelming or daunting now because you're like, crap, I didn't know that I need to know all this stuff. But the coolest part is that you now have exposure to someone who does. And so I don't want you to let the excuse or the fear around legalizing your business stop you from progressing, whether you're just having the idea and you're just starting your business, or if you've been in business for a while and through this talk you realize you haven't been protecting yourself. This is just the time now to go ahead and add that tool, right? Add that person, add that resource to your business plan so that you can now be protected. So don't freak out. I promise it'll be okay. And she's nice. Like, she's telling us the tea, but she's really nice in the way that she explains to you what you need to do to move forward in a more protected way where you can breathe easy and sleep easy at night. Okay. So before we go, I want to give Jamila an opportunity to just let us know if we are ready to move forward and get our mess together and legalize our business and make sure we're protected. How can we find you and connect with you and do business?
Yeah, so one of the ways that you can connect with me is you can go to my website, iamandmore.com, and that's IAMANDMORE.com. It's a funny play off of my name, but in reality, it's an affirmation for you to remember who you are. Right. And remember that your vision matters, your business matters, and that when you come here, I care about your business and I'm here and I'm ready to serve you. Now, on that website, you will be able to book a free discovery call and be able to kind of just shop through and look through the different programs that I have for different things that may be of value to you. The best investment that you can make is an investment in yourself because it is the only investment that gives a limitless return. An investment in you is the only investment that gives a limitless return. In addition to that, you want to make sure that you're connecting with me on all social media handles at I am in more. I am in more. On Facebook is I am in more consulting. But on Instagram is I am in more. On YouTube is I am in more. Because being an entrepreneur is great, 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 great. And we love to think about all the things that we need to do on the front end to make money, but really withstanding the test of times and not being a part of the 76% of entrepreneurs that go out of business within the third year really takes building your soft skills. So making sure that you connect with me on YouTube at I Am and More, where I release great content to make sure that we're not only building our hard skills and protecting our businesses, we're building our soft skills. I'm here to serve you, and that's really what it is. That's what it is. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jamila, for being on the podcast. As always, you give such a wealth of knowledge. And guys, if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to go back and listen to some of our past episodes. And remember, we drop a new video each and every week. And with that being said, guys, remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock, and we will see you next time.